Equal Housing Lender. Good luck, Greenwood baseball team at WIAA Baseball Championship Games in Appleton.
We're getting set for baseball here at Fox City Stadium in Appleton. The Greenwood Indians, the home team today, so the Indians are on the field. On the mound, right-hander Weston Wietrich, and the first man he'll face is left fielder Jacob Butnick, a .389 hitter, a sophomore on this Lake Country Lutheran ball club. Weston Wietrich on the mound, he's all set. Weston winds, and the first pitch of the day is high for ball one. And baseball underway here at Fox City Stadium in Appleton. Greenwood and Lake Country Lutheran in this WIAA Division IV state championship game. Indians in a state final for the first time in 23 years. Wietrich winds and throws again and missed the outside corner, ball 2-0. Weston Wietrich this year 5-2 with a 1.05 ERA. He's thrown 33 1/3 innings, allowed 13 runs, 5 earned on 14 hits. He throws high again, ball 3-0. Weston has walked 14, struck out 66 for the Greenwood Indians this season. He's behind Budnick, 3 balls, no strikes. Weston into his motion once again, and now throws high for ball 4. So the leadoff man for Lake Country Lutheran walks on 4 pitches.
Second baseman, number 13.
Makes it a little easier.
Batting next for Lake Country Lutheran, second baseman Chris Kornowski, batting .390. Right-handed batter. Budnick leads at first base. Wietrich checks him. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, ball 1. And so Wietrich has thrown his first 5 pitches out of the strike zone today. Has often had some early control problems. Working from the stretch. Wietrich throws again and misses down low. Lehrman can't find him but recovers quickly. And no advance by Budnick. The count on Kornowski. 2 balls and no strikes. Beautiful day for baseball here in the Fox Valley with temperatures in the 60s. Bright sunshine today. Wietrich ready once again. Now delivers over for a called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. You're listening to Greenwood High School Baseball on Sports Radio 92.3 FM, WOSQ, Spencer Marshfield, and WDLB, WOSQ.com. Mike Warren producing our broadcast this morning. Next pitch on the way. Kornowski shows bunt, takes outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Weston exhibiting some early control difficulties today. Checks the base runner and throws 3-1, a swing and a miss, runner going. Throw down to second base high and goes into center field, but no further advance by Budnick. The count on Kornowski now 3-2, but Budnick steals second base. That's the first time that someone has stolen a base off of Cody Lehrman in the last 3 games. He threw out 3 base runners in the sectional final against Prairie Farm last Tuesday, and also tossed out a base runner yesterday. Count is 3-2 on Kornowski. Wietrich from the stretch, throws again, hit low for ball 4. So Wietrich has walked the first 2 men he's faced today.
Batting third, the right fielder, number 17, B.J. Sable.
Batting next for Lake Country Lutheran, the right fielder B.J. Sable, winning pitcher in yesterday's ball game. This guy batting .527, left-handed batter. Wietrich from the stretch. He delivers low for ball 1. No score as Greenwood faces Lake Country Lutheran in this Division IV championship game at Fox City Stadium in Appleton, but the first 2 men on the Lake Country Lutheran staff lineup have walked today. Here's a high hopper, third base side. Hinker grabs it at third base, but has no play. That ball hit beyond third base, and Hinker had to wait for that ball to come back, come down. By the time he got there, by the time the ball came to him, he could not recover in time to go back to third base and step on the bag for the force play. So it's an infield hit for B.J. Sable, and that will load the bases. Budnick to third base, Kornowski to second, Sable to first. Bases loaded, nobody out for cleanup man Jesse Turner. Wietrich from the stretch, delivers high and outside, ball 1. 1-0 on Jesse Turner. Wietrich in a jam here. He throws again, low and outside, ball 2. Lake Country Lutheran with 2 walks and an infield hit. Load the bases with nobody out here in the first inning. Wietrich from the stretch. Delivers once again. Fastball on the inside corner, a called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. James Lovick faced a situation like this yesterday in the semifinal win against WOSQ. Wietrich throws again, in there for a called strike 2. Bases loaded, nobody out. And WOSQ then scored 1 run, but James then struck out 2 men and induced a pop-up for out number 3 without further damage. 2-2 on Turner. Wietrich gets set and delivers. Hit high for a ball. And the count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Turner, a junior, batting .462 this year. Very good hitting, Lake Country Lutheran Ball Club. 3-2 on Turner. Wietrich back to the belt, checks the base runners. And now throws, in there for a called strike 3. Turner out on strikes. That's out number 1 in the Lake Country Lutheran first inning. Now here is today's Lake Country Lutheran pitcher, Ben Wilkins. Right-handed batter, a sophomore batting .346. Wietrich ready, throws, it's foul to the screen for strike 1. No score as Greenwood and Lake Country Lutheran meet in this Division IV state championship game at Fox City Stadium in Appleton, but a big threat by Lake Country Lutheran right off the bat. Bases loaded, 1 out as they hit in the top half of the first inning. Now the 0-1 to Wilkins. Missed the outside corner for a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Glad to have you with us for baseball action today here on WOSQ. Wietrich again checks the base runners. And now throws 1-1, high hopper towards second base. Johnson will tag the runner, throw to first base in time for the double play. And Wietrich does pitch out of it as Tyler Johnson tags Sable going by, then throws to first baseman Blake Sterland for the double play to end the inning without any damage by Lake Country Lutheran. The Lightning in the first, no runs on a hit, no errors, 2 walks, and 2 men left on base. After 1/2 inning, Lake Country Lutheran nothing, Greenwood coming to bat. We'll return for more baseball in just a moment.
To be good in baseball, it takes integrity. To properly complete your real estate transaction, it takes Integrity Title. Integrity Title professionally serves the needs of home buyers, sellers, lenders, builders, and real estate associates. With offices in Marshfield, Greenwood, and Clark County Integrity Title in Neillsville. For quality products and friendly services before, during, and after closing, seek out Integrity. Integrity Title.
How do you pay for $200,000 of coverage on your home, but really get $250,000 of coverage? Have Dahlman Insurance Agency set you up with a homeowner's policy from Partners Mutual. Partners Plus coverage will pay out 125% of the coverage you have on your home. While you're at it, save 15% by packaging your autos and motorcycles too. At Dahlman Insurance, customer service is their top priority. Dahlman Insurance. Come for the rates, stay for the service.
Right-hander Ben Wilkins on the mound for Lake Country Lutheran today. He is 4-1 with a 2.55 ERA. He has thrown 33 innings, allowed 19 runs, 12 earned on 26 hits, walked 8, struck out 49. Has 2 complete games to his credit this year. Right-hander Ben Wilkins on the mound for Lake Country Lutheran today. This is the first of 4 state championship games being played today here at Fox City Stadium in Appleton. Nice crowd on hand. That crowd will build throughout the day as we watch the other state championship games this morning and this afternoon. The leadoff batter for Greenwood in the first is third baseman Cole Hinker, a .340 hitter, left-handed batter. Ben Wilkins, a right-hander on the mound for Lake Country Lutheran today. This school, by the way, is located in Heartland, a western Milwaukee suburb. Relatively new school. Wilkins into his motion. He throws high for ball 1. There is no score in this ball game as Greenwood faces Lake Country Lutheran in the WIAA Division IV state championship game. 1-0 pitch is also high for ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Rather unusual that Weston Wheatrick gets to start 2 games at the state tournament. Wilkins throws again over at the letters, a called strike, 2-1, but Weston did start the semifinal against WOSQ yesterday and pulled after Greenwood built that 8-0 lead in the second inning. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that is high, ball 3, 3-1. Our umpire, by the way, behind home plate, A.J. Minnick of Bristol. Count is 3-1. The pitch to Hinker is on the outside corner, called strike 2, 3-2. We do have 4 umpires today. As this is a state championship game, there's an umpire at each base. The full count pitch to Hinker. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Cole Hinker out on strikes. That's out number 1 in the Greenwood first. And the batter is pitcher Weston Wheatrick. Weston batting .340 for the year. He singled and drove in 2 runs for Greenwood in that 11-1 win over WOSQ on Wednesday. Wilkins throws a breaking ball that floats across the plate for a called strike 1. Once again today, our coverage of Greenwood High School baseball, a service of Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. Wilkins throws again. Popped up foul on the right side, going out of play. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Fox City Stadium remodeled after last season. Lots of additions to the ballpark. Looks very, very nice. Here's the 0-2 to Weston Wheatrick. Curveball hit back up the middle, off the rubber, out towards second base, and through the second baseman, Kornowski, and Wheatrick beats that out. That should be an infield hit for Weston Wheatrick. Single back up the middle for Wheatrick. The ball was knocked down behind the bag by the second baseman, Kornowski, but he could not make a play. So the Indians have a 1-out base runner for catcher Cody Learman. He's batting .400 for the season. One of the key sophomores on this Greenwood ball club. Wilkins goes to first base, throws low, but dug out by the first baseman, Tim Barr. Weston Wheatrick, pretty good athlete, good speed down there at first base for the Indians. We'll see if Coach Hinker has him on the move. Wilkins from the stretch. And the pitch to Learman is on the inside corner, a called strike 1. Greenwood batting. Bottom half of the first inning, no score in this Division IV state championship game between Greenwood and Lake Country Lutheran from Heartland. Wheatrick at first base with 1 out, 0-1 on Learman. Pitches away, it's a pitch out, 0 on, tossed down to first base anyway, and Wheatrick walks back to the bag. The Lightning calling for a pitch out, but Wheatrick was not on the move. So the count on Learman now 1-1. Coach Ken Hinker at third base goes through some signs. Wheatrick has a good lead down there at first. Wilkins checks him. Pitch on the way. Popped foul on the right side, out of play. Ball and 2 strikes. Greenwood fans here once again today in good numbers. Lake Country Lutheran has a good crowd, and considering the fact that it's a small private school in the Milwaukee area, and those schools normally don't draw a whole lot, they do have a good representation at the ballpark today. 1-2 on Learman. Runner going, pitch on the way, half swing, the ball in the dirt, and rolls in front of home plate. Wheatrick steals second base unopposed. Stolen base for Weston Wheatrick. Ball was in the dirt. Learman held his swing, and the ball was blocked by the catcher, Shannon. Murphy Shannon, the catcher for Lake Country Lutheran. So there was no throw on Wheatrick. The count on Learman, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wilkins working from the stretch. Throws once again. There's a long drive to deep left field. Budnick back in the left field corner. He may get there. At the edge of the warning track, he makes the catch for out number 2, and Wheatrick back to second base. Hit well by Cody Learman, but stays in the ballpark. And Cody is retired for out number 2.
Second baseman Tyler Johnson.
Batting next for Greenwood, the second baseman Tyler Johnson. Batting .419 for the season. Left-handed batter. Tyler stands in there. And the pitch from Wilkins, taken high for ball 1. We mentioned some reconstruction here at this ballpark. They now have a second deck above the press area for club seating and some luxury boxes. Wilkins throws 1-0 in the dirt and to the screen. Wild pitch. Wietrich with a big turnaround third base, but goes no further. And Greenwood has a base runner at third with 2 outs. The count on Johnson, 2 balls and no strikes. Johnson back in there. Wilkins stays in the stretch and now throws on the outside corner. A called strike, 2-1. Coach Ken Hinker has preached patience from his batters the last couple of years. They wait out the pitchers a lot. 2-1 delivery on the way. That's smack towards center field and will drop for a base hit. RBI single for Tyler Johnson as Wietrich scores and Greenwood leads 1-0. Tyler Johnson with a smash to center field. Wietrich is in.
Number 18, Booker Bredlow.
And Greenwood leads 1-0 here in the opening inning. Left fielder Booker Bredlow now batting for Greenwood. Johnson leads at first base. And Wilkins throws a drive to center field, not real deep. And Jacob Simons moves in, gets there, and makes the catch to end the inning. But Greenwood on the scoreboard first today. In the first inning, the Indians get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 1. After 1 inning, Greenwood 1 and Lake Country Lutheran 0. We'll return to Appleton in just a moment.
Experience the nostalgia of years gone by when you visit one of Greenwood's original landmarks. Now the home of Centuries on Main of Greenwood. Tanya and Michelle invite you in to enjoy a unique variety of gifts, fresh flowers, and home decor, including candles, rugs, balloons, local dairy products, and more. Congratulations, Greenwood baseball team, and good luck in today's game. Bring home another state championship. Centuries on Main. Visit them on Main Street in Greenwood at centuriesonmain.com and also on Facebook.
With high prices of gas, have you thought about trading in that old gas guzzler for a fuel-efficient hybrid? Or had your eye on that all-wheel drive 8-seater with a TV? Perfect for picking the kids up from soccer. Make it happen with a loan from First Choice Credit Union. Their loan rates are low, and they can work out a great payment plan for you. Plus, you can feel good about borrowing from a local lender, supporting Main Street, not Wall Street. Borrow today and get behind the wheel. Visit firstchoicecreditunion.com and make First Choice Credit Union your first choice. Located in Marshall, membership eligibility required. Federally insured by NCUA.
First baseman, number 18, Tim Barr.
Leadoff man for Lake Country Lutheran here in the second is the first baseman Tim Barr, facing Weston Wietrich, now working with a 1-run lead. Weston ready, he winds and throws high and tight for ball 1. Our score is Greenwood 1, Lake Country Lutheran 0. As Lake Country Lutheran bats, top half of the second inning, Wietrich throws again, high for a ball, 2-0. Weston had some control problems in inning number 1 as he walked 2, gave up an infield hit as well. 2-0 pitch to Barr, low for ball 3, but Weston was helped in that first inning by a strikeout and a double play, and Lake Country Lutheran did not score. Barr for the year batting .387, right-handed batter. He's ahead 3-0. Wietrich winds, throws once again, high and outside, ball 4. And Barr walks on 4 pitches. So Lake Country Lutheran has a leadoff base runner. And batting next is shortstop C.J. Teskey. Teskey, another sophomore, batting .423, a very young ball club for Lake Country Lutheran. Wietrich checks Barr at first base. The pitch to Teskey rides outside for ball 1. Wietrich has had some control issues during his career, although not nearly as pronounced this season. He throws once again, a swing and a miss. 1-1. Weston throwing very hard. He often throws up in the mid to upper 80s, if not above that. So if he does have good command, he's going to be awfully tough to hit. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Wietrich ready. Throws once again low. The runner going, but Learman drops the ball, can't find it. And a stolen base for Tim Barr. Count on Teskey 2-1. And Lake Country Lutheran has stolen 2 bases here in the first 2 innings. Very unusual against Cody Learman. 2-1 on Teskey. Wietrich throws once again. That's fouled to the screen. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think I got the crappiest draw of all. First and last games of the day.
Yeah, that last game, you never know when it's going to happen.
Barr leads at second base. Wietrich looks at him. And now the 2-2 pitch, a swing and a foul behind home plate. Wietrich taking something off that pitch. And Teskey out in front, fought it off. The count stays 2-2. Wietrich working from the stretch. Sets once again, 2-2 pitch. High hopper to third, grabbed by Hinker. He'll throw the first base and throw the ball down the right field line. Barr running on the play will score, and Teskey takes third base, or second base rather. Throwing error on Cole Hinker, and that will allow the first run of the day for Lake Country Lutheran. That ties the ball game at 1. That was a high hopper again. Boy, we've seen 2 of those high hoppers down the third baseline. Hinker was able to field that one, but throw off balance down the to first base, but threw the ball wildly by Blake Sterland. Barr scores on the play. Teskey goes to second base. The batter is Jacob Simons, the center fielder, and the first pitch is low for ball 1. So Lake Country Lutheran on the scoreboard. They trail the ball game now tied at 1. Wietrich gets set once again and delivers. A swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're deadlocked at 1 as Lake Country Lutheran bats here in the top half of the second inning. Teskey at second base, still nobody out. 1-1 on Jacob Simons. Wietrich working from the stretch. Simon shows bunt, takes it high. And the umpire asking for an appeal, and the first base umpire says yes, he did commit to the bunt. So the count now 1-2. Our plate umpire not sure if Simons had offered, but he asked for help. The first base umpire says yes, he did bunt at the ball and miss. So the count on Simons now 1-2. Wietrich checks the runner, throws once again, curveball hit to third. Hinker has it go off his shoulder out towards shortstop, and Simons will reach as Barr holds at second base. Boy, that ground along that third base line must be in tough shape. There'll be an error on Hinker, his second error of the inning. But Hinker's had to handle some real difficult hops down there along the third base line. Teskey at second, Simons at first. For catcher Murphy Shannon, he takes up and in for ball 1. So 2 errors by Hinker at third base. 1 run is in. Runners are at first and second, still nobody out. 1-0 on Murphy Shannon. He shows bunt again, and bunt's foul to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shannon batting .275. He is a junior. Number 9 man in the Lake Country Lutheran batting order. Runners take their leads at first and second. Sterland at first base is in, looking for the bunt. Shannon squares and takes high for a ball. 2-1, throw back to second base, but Teskey dives in safely. 2-1 on Murphy Shannon. Like to move those men into scoring position for the top of the Lake Country Lutheran batting order. Wietrich gets set and throws high again for ball 3. So Wietrich having a tough time putting the ball in the strike zone against this lightning batter who'd like to lay one down. Wietrich gets set once again, and the 3-1 pitch is taken over for a called strike. And the count now full 3-2. Weston could certainly use a strikeout right here. 3-2, runners take their leads. And Wietrich throws over called strike 3. Wietrich's second strikeout of the day. That's out number 1 here in the second inning. And leadoff man Jacob Budnick now batting for Lake Country Lutheran. He walked his first time up. Right-handed batter. Wietrich gets set. And now throws a swing and a miss for strike one. Our coverage of Greenwood Indians baseball today here on WOSQ, a service of Forward Financial Bank, Harmony Country Cooperatives, and Integrity Title. Now Wietrich set. He throws a curveball and got the outside corner. A called strike two. Good pitch by Wietrich on the outside part of the plate. The count now no balls and 2 strikes. Runners take their leads again at first and second. Wietrich ready. He delivers up and in for a ball. They have an appeal here. The first base umpire says no, he did not swing. 1-2 on Budnick, who singled and doubled in the Lightning's win over Potosi yesterday. They had 10 hits in that ball game. Hit the ball very sharply. Wietrich ready once again. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Good breaking ball by Wietrich, and Budnick out on strikes. And that is out number 2. Lake Country batter now, second baseman Chris Kornowski. He walked his first time up. Wietrich checks the runners and throws. His breaking ball is low and outside for ball 1. Our score now, Greenwood 1, Lake Country Lutheran 1. Lake Country batting in the top half of the second. Runners at first and second and 2 out. The 1-0 on the way, high for a ball, 2-0. Weston Wietrich has walked 3 so far today, also victimized by 2 errors behind him in this inning. 2-0 on Kornowski. And Wietrich throws, foul to the screen. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wietrich back on the mound. Infield now is back, not looking for the bunt, of course, with 2 outs. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch on the way. Missed the low inside corner. 3-1 on Kornowski. Weston Wietrich did get the start in the ball game with Wasaki yesterday, but only threw 1 inning. Was pulled after that 8-run second inning by Greenwood. Here's the 3-1 pitch, fouled down the first base side, hit sharply right through a puddle in the foul ground area on the first base side. Count on Kornowski now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. You can see there are a few wet spots out there in the outfield and some puddles along the warning track in foul territory down either foul line. Some heavy rains late yesterday afternoon. Last evening delayed play in the Division II semifinals by a couple of hours. 3-2 the count. Wietrich from the stretch. He throws and missed the outside corner, ball 4. That's 4 walks issued by Wietrich. The bases are loaded for the number 3 man, right fielder B.J. Sable, who reached on an infield single his first time up. Sable's a left-handed batter. Wietrich stays in the stretch here. And he throws, fouled back for strike 1. Well, in the first inning, Lake Country Lutheran loaded the bases with nobody out, but did not score. They've scored 1 here, 1 unearned run. They have the bases loaded again, now with 2 outs. Wietrich trying to pitch out of it. Here's the 0-1 to Sable. Fly ball to shallow right center field. That will drop for a base hit. Teskey is in. Simons will score as well, and Kornowski takes third base. 2-run single for B.J. Sable. And that puts Lake Country Lutheran on top, 3-0.
Next batter, number 3, third baseman Jesse Turner.
So 2-run score. Every run scored, by the way, this inning against Wietrich is unearned. Lake Country Lutheran men at first and third with 2 outs for third baseman Jesse Turner. Wietrich ready. He delivers. Over for a called strike 1. So our score now, Lake Country Lutheran 3, Greenwood 1. Lake Country Lutheran batting here in the top of the second. Runners at first and third and 2 outs. Wietrich throws 0-1, fouled back. No, that was swung on and missed and got away from Learman, and a run will score. Turner swung and missed at a ball in the dirt The ball got by Learman to the backstop, and Kornowski scores from third base. Sable takes second, and Lake Country Lutheran now leads 4-0. The count on Turner, no balls, 2 strikes. Wietrich again checks the base runner, and he throws, missed the low inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. All runs scored by Lake Country Lutheran this inning will be unearned. Now Wietrich gets set once again. He delivers a curveball, half swing and a miss. And Turner out on strikes to end the inning, but lots of damage by Lake Country Lutheran here in the second. The Lightning get 4 runs, all unearned, on just 1 hit. But there were 2 errors, 2 more walks, 1 man left on base. After 1.5, our score is Lake Country Lutheran 4 and the Greenwood Indians 1. We'll return with more baseball following these messages.
Hi, Steve Brickner here from Brickner Motors on Little Chicago's northeast side. You know, I hear the same question again and again. What are you guys doing with a car dealership out in the middle of nowhere? I always answer the same way. Brickner's has been out here since 1945. So if we're in the middle of nowhere and still in business, there's no better proof we go the extra mile and treat the customers right. People nowadays sometimes forget it's not just what you buy, but where you buy. Service after the sale is the reason we've been in business out here for 66 years. You won't hear the gimmicks from us that you might hear from others. No guarantee this or extra that. We provide quality at a great price, and that's why people keep coming back. Integrity and honesty is something that just cannot be bought. Only minutes from Merrill, Wausau, and Medford. Make the drive to Little Chicago's northeast side. You won't be disappointed.
Well, the Greenwood Indians now trailing by 3 as they come to bat in the bottom half of the second inning in this Division IV championship game here in Appleton. Leadoff man for Greenwood is center fielder James Lovick. Facing right-hander Ben Wilkins, the first pitch is lined to deep right field, but B.J. Sable comes on and makes a diving attempt and makes the catch in right center field. Well done by the right fielder B.J. Sable, who dives and takes a hit away from James Lovick to open the Greenwood second inning. And that's the first out in the Greenwood second. The batter now for Greenwood, first baseman Blake Sterland. Pitch by Wilkins on the outside corner, a called strike. Lake Country Lutheran on top, 4-1. As Greenwood bats, bottom half of the second. The 0-1 pitch on the way, breaking ball, high for a ball, 1-1. This is the first time Lake Country Lutheran has gone to the state tournament, and they're in this championship game. 1-1 pitch is foul deep down the right field line out of play, 1-2. Lake Country Lutheran did get to the sectionals in 2010 and 2009, losing to Burlington Catholic Central in the sectional semifinals each year. Wilkins throws again. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Wilkins' second strikeout of the day. 2 men down. And batting next is DH Connor Kitzhaber. Connor batting .375 for the year. Right-handed batter. Wilkins winds and delivers. Outside, ball 1. Burlington Catholic Central has been very strong amongst Division IV schools in the southern part of the state. They've been to the state tournament numerous times. Wilkins throws over for a called strike, 1-1. And that's a team that Lake Country Lutheran had to beat usually to get to the state tournament. A couple of times they could not do that. Next pitch by Wilkins, a swing and a miss, 1-2. They did this year, they did beat Burlington Catholic in the sectional finals 8-7 to advance on to this year's state tournament. Count on Kitzhaber, 1-2. The pitch on the way. Curveball is lined towards right field. It will drop for a base hit. Connor Kitzhaber has a 2-out single for Greenwood. And Batting now for Greenwood, the right fielder Alex Volosik, a big hero in yesterday's Greenwood win. He singled, doubled, and knocked in 2 runs. His 2-run single in the second inning was a key play in that 8-run outburst that brought in the first Greenwood runs of the day. Wilkins from the stretch throws and misses high for ball 1. Ben Wilkins on the mound for Lake Country Lutheran. He throws again, low and inside, ball 2. Lake Country Lutheran, by the way, beat Johnson Creek this year in the regional final 11-1. That's the ball club that beat Greenwood in the state semifinals last season. 2-0 on Volosik. Wilkins from the stretch throws once again, outside for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Indians attempting a 2-out rally. Down by 3 here in the second inning. Short lead by Kitzhaber at first base. Wilkins will check him. And now the pitch. And it's on the inside corner, a called strike, 3-1. Beautiful sunshine today. Great day for baseball here in the Fox Valley. 3-1 on Volosik. Pitches away, line to left field for a base hit. Volosik singles to left field, went the opposite way. And the Indians have base runners at first and second with 2 outs. Greenwood has had 4 hits already. Now the batter is Greenwood third baseman Cole Hinker, who struck out his first time up. Left-handed batter. Wilkins working from the stretch here. Delivers a breaking ball on the inside corner for a called strike. Lake Country Lutheran on top, 4-1. Greenwood batting bottom half of the second. Kitzhaber at second, Volosik at first with 2 outs. 0-1 on Hinker. Wilkins throws again, line down the third base side, foul. Count now 0-2. So Cole behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Looking to stay alive here and help cut into that Greenwood deficit. Hinker back in there. Big lead at first base by Volosik. He's not being held. Now Wilkins ready. He throws high for ball. Runners are going. Throw down to third base is there in time, and Kitzhaber is out. Kitzhaber caught stealing as catcher Murphy Shannon throws to third baseman Jesse Turner. Greenwood attempting a double steal to get 2 men into scoring position, but Kitzhaber thrown out to end the inning. Greenwood in the second, no runs on 2 hits, no errors. They leave 1. After 2, Lake Country Lutheran 4, Greenwood 1. And more baseball coming up in just a moment.
Today's Greenwood baseball game brought to you by your friends and neighbors.
60 seconds. 60 seconds.
Something about being a team because it's their team. The ability to help you with commercial loans and agricultural loans. Visit with one of their team at Forward Financial Bank in Greenwood for all of your loan, checking, savings, or electronic banking.
When you see that red octagon sign on the corner, what should you do? You stop. Well, when you see the red square sign in the yard, what should you do? You should stop in, because that red sign in the yard usually says Team Realty, and that's the sign of service. From Black River Falls to Curtis, Granton, and Greenwood, through Loyal, Lublin, Neilsville, and Owen to Stanley, Thorpe, Willard, and Withy, Team Realty offers complete appraisal and realty services for farm, residential, commercial, and recreational properties. From either of their offices in Greenwood and Neilsville or online at teamandrealty.com.
Lake Country Lutheran has the lead as they come to bat in the top half of the third inning in this WIAA Division IV state championship game. The leadoff man for the Lightning, pitcher Ben Wilkins, bounces into a 4-3 double play to close out the Lake Country Lutheran first inning. He's 0 for 1. Weston Wietrich throwing for Greenwood today. His first pitch is hit deep down the right field line. A long run for Volosik. He won't get there, but the ball falls just foul deep in the right field corner. Indians get a break there. That ball fouled by a couple of feet in deep right field. And the count on Ben Wilkins, no balls and 1 strike. Lake Country Lutheran with 4 unearned runs. In the top half of the second inning, they lead 4-1. 0-1 on Wilkins. Weston Wietrich winds and throws a curveball that breaks inside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Baseball action today here at Fox City Stadium in Appleton. Wietrich throws once again. Foul to the third base side. The count now 1-2. Beautiful day for baseball with temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Wind starts to shift a bit now, blowing in from the northeast, in from right center field. Wietrich's next pitch is foul to the screen. 1-2. Was blowing that way earlier, but is now much more pronounced. Still 1-2 on Ben Wilkins. Right-handed batter, he'll stand back in. Wietrich winds and throws a curveball, got him looking, a called strike 3. Now Wietrich now has fanned 5 in 2 1/3 innings. Here's the Lake Country Lutheran first baseman Tim Barr, who walked and scored his first time up. Wietrich ready, winds and throws, a swing and a miss for strike 1. We have more of the NBA Finals coming your way tonight. Here on 92.3 FM, WOSQ, Game 4 of that series between San Antonio and Miami. Here's the 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss on a breaking ball, 0-2. Spurs now lead that series 2-1. Our broadcast begins at 7 o'clock this evening, right here on 92.3 FM, WOSQ. The 0-2 to Tim Barr, rides high for ball, 1-2. Looks like that will be a very, very competitive series this year between San Antonio and Miami. Wietrich out of the windup. And the 1-2 pitches away. Ground ball back up the middle, but snared by Wietrich. And he'll toss to Sterling for out number 2. So 2 quick counts in the Lake Country Lutheran third inning.
Shortstop number 9, C.J. Teskey.
Batting next is shortstop C.J. Teskey. He was on base with an error and scored in that 4-run second inning. Right-handed batter. And Wietrich into his motion. He throws a breaking ball up and in for ball 1. Lake Country Lutheran leads this Division IV state final 4-1 as they bat top half of the third. Bases empty and 2 out. The 1-0 to C.J. Teskey is hit foul to the right side out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nice crowd here today watching baseball at Fox City Stadium in Appleton. And this state championship series will be here now for a number of years. Wietrich throws once again, a swing and a foul back. 1-2. The WIAA extending that contract with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers and Fox City Stadium for several more years. It's going to run here, I think, through at least 2017, if not beyond that. Here's the 1-2 to Teskey on the way. He swings and misses. A good fastball, strike 3. That's 6 strikeouts for Weston Wietrich so far today. Lake Country Lutheran in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Our score after 2.5 innings of play, Lake Country Lutheran 4 and the Greenwood Indians 1. We'll come back to Appleton in just a moment.
You probably never thought about it, but summer has a flavor. Don't believe me? Close your eyes and think of
60 seconds.
s'mores or pudgy pies fresh out of the campfire. Add even more flavor to your summer with the smooth, creamy taste of Grassland butter. Look for the Grassland label wherever you buy butter to be assured of a quality product made by your neighbors. Grassland Dairy Products of Greenwood, the better butter people, proud to call Wisconsin home.
Sports coverage brought to you by Security Health Plan. Security Health Plan, in cooperation with its many affiliated providers, ensures members have access to the best health care available in central, northern, and western Wisconsin. Security Health Plan offers a variety of coverage for fully insured and self-insured business owners, as well as individuals and families. Security Health Plan, peace of mind for Marshfield Clinic. Security Health Plan is proud to support area high school athletes.
Cole Hinker leads off the Greenwood third inning. He was at bat when Connor Kitzhopper was tossed out trying to steal to close out the Greenwood second inning. Cole struck out back in the first, 0 for 1. Ben Wilkins on the mound for Lake Country Lutheran. He winds and throws. Breaking ball is across for a called strike one. Lake Country Lutheran on top, 4-1. Greenwood batting bottom half of the third. Wilkins throws again. On the outside corner, a called strike, 0-2. Cole Hinker batting .340 out of that leadoff spot for the Greenwood Ball Club this year. Gets behind 0-2. Wilkins throws a breaking ball outside for a ball, 1-2. Nice day for baseball here in the Fox Cities. Glad to have you with us for Greenwood baseball today here on WOSQ. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wilkins throws a curveball again and just missed the outside corner. I think Cole was almost expecting to get that third strike call, but did not get it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wilkins winds, throws again. Same spot, and again, it's a ball, 3-2. Cole must have a pretty good eye. Those pitches not missing by much. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Wilkins winds and delivers. Up high for ball 4. First walk issued by Ben Wilkins today. Greenwood has a leadoff base runner. And Weston Wheatrick now batting for Greenwood. Weston singled and scored Greenwood's only run back in the first inning. Wilkins working from the stretch. Hinker leads at first base. Curveball floats high for ball 1. Wilkins, by the way, one of the few guys in this era who uses that full windup. What you see when the pitcher brings his arms above his head. Next pitch to Wheatrick is popped up on the right side. A long run for the right fielder Sable coming into foul territory, and he won't get there. Ball falls in foul territory, out of play. 1-1. Now he doesn't do it from the stretch. But when Sable's in the windup position, he brings his arms all the way up over his head, then comes back down and throws. And that was the standard way of pitching back up until about the 1970s, when most pitchers went to that no windup delivery. 1-1 on Wheatrick. Wilkins throws again. Low and outside, blocked by the catcher, but Hinker takes off to second base, and he'll get there just in time. Boy, a gamble there by Cole Hinker. That ball was laying in front of home plate, and Murphy Shannon found it very quickly. Tossed down to second base, and Murphy just beat it. The count on Wheatrick is now 2-1, and Hinker's in scoring position. Wheatrick stands back in there. Here's the pitch, inside for a ball. 3-1 on Weston Wheatrick. What a big 2-run single in the semifinal win against Wasaki on Wednesday. 3 balls, 1 strike. Wilkins from the stretch. Throws again, foul to the screen, out of play. And the count on Wheatrick, full 3-2. Wheatrick, by the way, has thrown 70 pitches through the game's first 3 innings on the mound. Wilkins has gone 3-2 now, the first 2 men this inning. Comes back 3-2 again. Breaking ball on the inside corner for a called strike 3. Good pitch by Wilkins, and Wheatrick out on strikes. Wilkins' 3rd strikeout today. Wilkins now about 45 pitches. The batter for Greenwood, catcher Cody Learman, flied to left his first time up. Hinker at second base with 1 out. Wilkins will check the base runner. And the pitch to Cody Learman is outside, ball 1. Lake Country Lutheran on top, 4-1 as Greenwood bats in the bottom half of the third. Cole Hinker at second base with 1 out. The 1-0 to Cody Learman. Over for a called strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Following this ball game at 12 noon today, it's the Division III state championship game. 1-1 to Learman. Curveball breaks across for a called strike 2. Oconto and Westby meet in that Division III championship game at noon today. Both won 1-run decisions in their semifinal round on Wednesday. Here's the 1-2 to Cody Learman. Breaking ball high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oconto nipped Osseo Fairchild 4-3, and Westby edged Deerfield 2-1. Westby, the ball club that beat Spencer in the sectional at Muscadet last week. 2-2 on Learman. The pitch by Wilkins, way inside for a ball. 3-2. Wilkins now has gone 3-2 to the first 3 men he's faced here in the Greenwood third inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Cody Learman. Hinker leads at second base. Wilkins checks him. Here's the pitch. It's high for ball 4. So Wilkins has now walked 2 in this inning. Greenwood has base runners at first and second with 1 out. For second baseman Tyler Johnson, who has Greenwood's only RBI today, a run-scoring single with 2 outs in the first. Greenwood runners take their leads. Wilkins gets set and throws. That pitch is over at the letters at called, strike 1. Indians have 4 hits today, looking for a couple of timely hits right here to get back in the ball game. They trail by 3. 0-1 on Johnson. And the pitch on the way is belted to the first base side. The first baseman Barr will grab it, step on the bag for the out, but the runners move up to second and third. Johnson retired on the ground out for out number 2. Hinker moves up to third base, and Learman to second. So 2 men in scoring position with 2 outs for left fielder Booker Bredlow, who flied to center his first time up. Had a long triple to dead center field yesterday. Wilkins out of the stretch, delivers, in there for a called strike 1. Greenwood needs a big 2-out hit here from Bredlow. Indians down 4-1 as they bat in the third. 2 men in scoring position. Wilkins ready, the 0-1 pitch, rides high for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Base hit here gets Greenwood right back in the ball game. Bredlow stands back in there, the count 1-1. And Wilkins throws way up inside for a ball. On a breaking ball, 2 balls, 1 strike. Greenwood and Lake Country Lutheran today in this Division IV state championship game. Now the 2-1 pitch is away, and that is high for ball 3. 3-1 on Bredlow. Wilkins out of the stretch position. He delivers. There's a fly ball to shallow left field. Budnick comes on. The ball is going to drop in front of him for a base hit, and both Hinker and Learman will score on the play. And Booker Bredlow comes through with a 2-run bloop single to left field. And Greenwood now trails 4-3. The third baseman, Turner, went out, tried to make an over-the-shoulder catch. The ball eluded him, fell in front of the left fielder, Budnick. 2 runs are in, and Greenwood back in the ball game, now trailing by a run. Center fielder James Lovick now batting for Greenwood. Wilkins throws, fly ball into foul territory. The third baseman, Turner, backpedals and grabs it to end the inning. But Greenwood gets back into it here in the third inning. The Indians scored 2 runs on 1 hit. No errors, 2 walks, 1 man left on base. After 3, it's Lake Country Lutheran 4 and the Greenwood Indians 3. More baseball coming up in just a moment.
It's easy to become overwhelmed when it comes to buying a new home. The forms and paperwork sometimes sound like they were written in another language. That's why it's so important to choose a proven, reliable leader when you take out a mortgage. A lender like Advantage Community Bank. Advantage Community Bank doesn't have stockholders on Wall Street. Their stockholders are on your street. They don't want to put people in houses. They want to put neighbors in their hometowns and keep Central Wisconsin's future as strong as its past. The mortgage can be overwhelming, no matter who's guiding you through it.
Make sure that you're being guided in the right direction. To learn more about Advantage Community Bank, call 715-693-BANK or visit AdvantageCommunity.com. Experience the community advantage at Advantage Community Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Leading off, the Lake Country fourth inning. Center fielder number 11, Jacob Simons.
Lake Country Lutheran comes to bat. In the top half of the fourth inning, leadoff man is center fielder Jacob Simons. On with an error and scored in the second inning. Wietrich throws, popped foul to the screen for strike one. Lake Country Lutheran now leads Greenwood 4-3. Lightning batting top half of the fourth in this Division IV state championship game. Here's a swing and a miss on a good breaking ball by Wietrich. No balls and 2 strikes. Weston Wietrich throwing for Greenwood today. By the way, he can only throw 6 innings. Here's the 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, fouled back. Since Weston did throw 1 inning yesterday, he can only throw 6 today. So regardless of what happens today, I believe Weston has to be relieved in the 7th inning. Count is 0-2. Wietrich throws again, foul to the right side, out of play. Still 0-2. Weston Wietrich throwing for the Greenwood Indians this afternoon. He winds and delivers. Ground ball to the first base side, grabbed by Sterling behind the bag. He'll step on first base, and Simons is retired for out number 1. 1 out of the Lake Country Lutheran fourth. Stepping in next is catcher Murphy Shannon, called out on strikes his first time up. Greenwood outfield, very, very shallow for Shannon. Weston Wietrich winds and throws a breaking ball and got the inside corner for a called strike. Stay with us for our post-game report this afternoon here on WOSQ, sponsored by Nuts Deep 2 in Marshfield and Spencer. Pitch by Wietrich to the screen. High fastball, 1-1. Nuts Deep 2, the sports fans' post-game discussion destination. Shannon batting .275 for the year. Stands back in there. Wietrich into his motion, throws once again. Fastball right side, ball 2. 2-1. Lake Country Lutheran with 4 unearned runs in the second, and that has given them their lead today. Here's the 2-1 pitch, a big swing and a miss at a fastball that may have been a bit high, but Shannon offers the count now 2-2. Looks like Wietrich is settling down now, getting into a good groove, throwing the ball hard. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. He throws once again, grounded right back to Weston. He'll snare it and toss to Sterling for out number 2. So 2 men down now in the Lake Country Lutheran fourth. Leadoff man Jacob Budnick now stands in. Budnick has walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1. Wietrich ready. Winds and delivers high for ball 1. Our score, Lake Country Lutheran 4, Greenwood 3. Lake Country Lutheran batting. Top of the fourth, bases empty and 2 out. 1-0 on Budnick. Wietrich throws again, a swing and a miss. Good fastball by Weston. Count 1-1. Weston telling us last week he'll play college baseball at Madison College next year. That's the 2-year school that used to be Madison Tech. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Half swing on an outside pitch, and the first base umpire on appeal says yes, he did offer. And the count on Budnick now, a ball and 2 strikes. That is one of the top 2-year programs in the upper part of the country, the upper Midwest. Wietrich throws 1-2, a half swing and a foul back. Stays 1-2. You may recall Marshfield's Mark Stry played at Madison for a couple of years. And from there went on to UW Milwaukee and played 2 years for the Panthers. So a pretty good baseball program down there at Madison. 1-2 on Budnick. Wietrich ready once again. Winds and throws, a swing and a miss to end the inning. And now 7 strikeouts for Weston Wietrich. In the fourth for Lake Country Lutheran, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. After 3.5, Lake Country Lutheran 4, the Greenwood Indians 3. And more baseball in just a moment.
If you can make it out of wood, they can make it out of steel. That's not so much a promise as a challenge at BZ Steel in Marshfield. Whether you need repair of farm machinery or snow plows, just bring it in and they can fix you right up. You want a special deer stand made for that perfect hunting spot you have? Or a patio set with a fire cage for your backyard? If you can draw it up, they can make it up. So you want to buy just a piece of steel, angular, flat, tubular, or square? Then call BZ Steel in Marshfield on 25th Street between Maple and Peach.
This is Scott J on piano. He's come to believe he's fast at everything. That's because earlier today, Scott mowed his lawn with a Toro Time Cutter Z. With its zero turning radius and unmatched ability to get around obstacles, Scott cut his mowing time in half. And that made him feel very, very fast. Toro. Count on it. Time savings compared to a comparably equipped Toro garden tractor.
See the Toro Time Cutter Z at Bill Service Center, Highway 97 in Stratford.
Greenwood Indians come to bat in the bottom half of the fourth inning, still trailing by a run in this Division IV state championship game with Lake Country Lutheran. Leadoff man, first baseman Blake Sterland, struck out his first time up. Ben Wilkins on the mound for Lake Country Lutheran. His first pitch hit toward shortstop and grabbed by C.J. Teskey, fires to first base in time, and Sterland is retired. 1 up and 1 down in the Greenwood fourth inning. DH Connor Kitzhaber now batting. Connor singled back in the second inning, later thrown out trying to steal to end the inning. Wilkins delivers here, fly ball towards right field. Sable near the line comes over, dives and makes a diving catch crossing the foul line for the out. That's the second diving catch made in right field by B.J. Sable today. He's done quite a job defensively for this ball club from Lake Country Lutheran. So 2 pitches and 2 outs in the Greenwood fourth inning. And right fielder Alex Volosik stands in. He singled his first time up. 1 for 1. Wilkins throws here in the dirt for ball 1. Greenwood Indians baseball on WOSQ today, sponsored by Pioneer Bank, Marshfield Clinic, and Cuddy Funeral Home in Greenwood. 1-0 on Volosik. Next pitch in the dirt as well, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. And Wilkins on the mound for Lake Country Lutheran today. He's a right-hander. Throws 2-0 in there for a called strike, 2-1. Volosik batting in that number 9 slot for Greenwood, although a very effective hitter. Wilkins' next pitch is up and in for ball 3. 3-1. Alex, a left-handed batter. Several lefties in this Greenwood batting order. Wilkins throws and a swing and a miss. And the count on Volosik now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Alex back in there. And Wilkins throws, low and outside, ball 4. Wilkins now has walked 3. Greenwood has a 2-out base runner for leadoff man Cole Hinker. You're listening to Greenwood Indians baseball on Sports Radio 92.3 FM, WOSQ, Spencer, Marshfield, and WDLB, WOSQ.com. Toss to first base, Volosik dives back in. The ball gets down the right field line, though, and Alex gets up, goes to second base. An errant throw by the pitcher, Wilkins. And that puts a Greenwood runner in scoring position, and Volosik the tying run at second base. So a break for Greenwood there. A base hit now may tie the ball game. Wilkins ready. The pitch to Hinker, taken high and away for ball 1. Mike Warren producing our broadcast this morning. I'm Gene DeLisio at Fox City Stadium in Appleton. The 1-0 to Cole Hinker. That's over at the knees, a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Greenwood Indians looking for their first WIAA baseball championship since 1990. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Hit in the air, foul on the third base side out of play. 1-2. Greenwood finished second at the Class C state tournament in 1986. Then won Class C both in 88 and 90. Got back here again last year, but lost in the semifinal round. The 1-2 to Cole Hinker. Breaking ball lined down the left field line, but just foul. Just outside the bag. Count stays 1-2. Greenwood also the sectionals in 1993, 2000, 2010, 11, and 12. Wilkins throws again. A swing and a miss. Inside fastball. Hinker swings and misses to end the inning. 4th strikeout for Ben Wilkins today. Greenwood in the 4th, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 walk, and 1 man left on base. Now after 4 innings, it's Lake Country Lutheran 4, the Greenwood Indians 3. And we'll come back with more baseball action in just a moment.
It's summertime, so you know what to do. The cool place to exercise in the summer. Terrific Tuesdays, wonderful Wednesdays, 2-hour all-you-can-bowl Thursday, rent-the-lane Friday, and pizza and pin Saturday. Closed on Sundays and Mondays for the summer. Rose Bowl Lanes in Marshfield.
We've been making ag loans since we first opened our doors. Our ag lenders are experienced professionals. There's a lot to know, as the face of agriculture keeps changing with the times. When it comes to agriculture, you can bank on our experience. Get your ag loans and do your investing with us. Stratford State Bank, member FDIC. Hometown people, hometown spirit.
Number 13, second baseman Chris Kornowski.
Lake Country Lutheran batting. Top half of the 5th, leadoff man, second baseman Chris Kornowski has walked twice and scored once today. Weston Wietrich on the mound for Greenwood this morning. His first pitch is in there for a called strike 1. Lake Country Lutheran leads this Division IV state final 4-3 as they bat in the top half of the 5th inning. Wietrich throws again, a curveball rides high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Lake Country Lutheran scored all 4 of its runs in the 2nd inning, thanks to a couple of walks and 2 errors by the Greenwood infield. Wietrich's next pitch, breaking ball over for a called strike 2. 1-2. There was also a big 2-run single in that inning for Lake Country Lutheran. Ball and 2 strikes on Kornowski. Wietrich gets set, winds, throws again, ground ball towards second base. Tyler Johnson will snare it and throw him out for out number 1. Kornowski retired. Batting next, the right fielder B.J. Sable. He has 2 of the 3 hits for Lake Country Lutheran today, and his second one did drive in 2 runs in that 4-run 2nd inning. Weston Wietrich back on the mound. He's now thrown 89 pitches today. He fires here, half swing and a fly ball down the left field line, falling into foul territory for strike 1. Major League Baseball action coming your way Saturday evening here on WOSQ. The Washington Nationals and the Cleveland Indians. That broadcast begins Saturday evening at 5 p.m. right here on Sports Radio 92.3 FM WOSQ. 0-1 on Sable. Wietrich fires here, misses high for a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Weston really struggling the first 2 innings today, but has settled down since the 3rd, has been awfully tough on the mound. He fires once again, high hopper towards the left side. The shortstop Siraki gets it, throws quickly but a bit offline, and Sable beats it out for his third hit of the day. And once again, we've seen balls hit to the left side of the infield take very, very high hops. That left side must be very, very hard. And Siraki had to wait for that one to come down before he made his throw. So Sable has his third hit today. Batting next, the third baseman Jesse Turner, who has struck out twice today. Toss to first base and Sable back to the bag. Leatrick from the stretch. He throws in the dirt, bounds away from Learman towards the first base dugout, and Sable takes second base on the wild pitch. The count on Turner is 1-0. So Lake Country Lutheran has a man in scoring position here. 1-0 on Jesse Turner. Leatrick fires. Misses low for a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Lake Country Lutheran on top, 4-3 as they bat top half of the fifth with 1 out, and B.J. Sable at second base. Leatrick ready, he fires, misses high for a ball, 3-0. Turner, the cleanup man for Lake Country Lutheran, but struck out his first 2 plate appearances. He stands back in there, and Leatrick throws 3-0 and got the inside corner for a called strike, 3-1. Indians fighting back with 2 runs in the bottom half of the third. They're back to within 1 here. Now the 3-1 is away, and that's low for ball 4. Leatrick now has walked 7. But that's the first walk he's issued since the second inning. Batting next is the pitcher Ben Wilkins. Leatrick's first pitch, low for ball 1. Let's correct that. Leatrick has now walked 5. He has struck out 7. 1-0 pitch on the way, foul to the screen. 1-1 on Wilkins, who has bounced into a double play and struck out today. 0 for 2 on the morning. I'm sure many of these guys not used to playing baseball at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. as was the case yesterday. Rather odd time. Leatrick's next pitch is a comebacker down the third baseline, picked up by Leatrick. He'll fire to first base, but late. Infield hit for Ben Wilkins to load the bases. That ball dribbled about 30 feet down the third base foul line out of Leatrick and Learman's reach. So 2 infield hits and a walk. And Lake Country Lutheran has loaded the bases with 1 out. Going to have a runner for the pitcher Wilkins, Justin Prostanak will run for Wilkins.
Courtesy runner for the pitcher is number 6, Justin Prostanak.
Justin Prostanak, the courtesy runner at first base. Bases loaded, 1 out. Greenwood down by a run. Coach David Barr on the Lake Country Lutheran side now conversing with his batter, Tim Barr, just to the third base side of the batter's box, and asking for another runner. J.R. Ellison coming out to run at second base for Turner. So a pinch runner at second, a courtesy runner at first. Tim Barr has walked and bounced back to Leatrick. He's 0 for 1. And now Ellison running across the diamond to give something to the first base coach. Probably had some loose change in his pocket. Now we're set to resume play as Barr stands in. Bases loaded, 1 out. Leatrick from the stretch. The pitch to Barr, swung on and fouled at the plate for strike 1. Sable at third, Ellison at second, Prostanak at first with 1 out. Lake Country Lutheran leading Greenwood 4-3. Lake Country Lutheran batting in the top half of the 5th. Weston Wietrich trying to pitch out of this one here. Lake Country Lutheran had the bases loaded with nobody out in the first and did not score, thanks to a strikeout and a double play. Wietrich from the stretch. Here's a squeeze bunt, missed, and Learman has the runner tagged out of the home plate. Throw back to first base, but the runner there dives back in safely. Well, Lake Country Lutheran puts on the squeeze bunt, but Barr missed the squeeze, and Sable was an easy out, tagged out by Learman for out number 2. The other runners do not advance. At first base, Prostanak was way off the bag, but Learman's throw was off lawn and Prostanak hustled back in safely. The count on Barr now 0-2. Wietrich from the stretch, throws, line found on the right field line on a play. So a big break by the Indians as they successfully defend the suicide squeeze. Barr missed the bunt. Learman tags out Sable for the second out of the inning. Now Wietrich throws again, fouled again to the right side of the play. That certainly has to be uplifting for the Greenwood Ball Club to avoid that suicide squeeze play. Still no balls and 2 strikes on Barr. Wietrich checks the runners and now throws a swing and a miss to end the inning. And Wietrich now has fanned 8 in this ball game. So Lake Country Lutheran loads the bases with 1 out in the 5th, but they cannot score. The Lightning in the 5th, no runs, 2 hits, a walk, no errors, 2 men left on base. After 4.5 innings, Lake Country Lutheran 4, Greenwood 3. Back with more baseball in just a moment.
Cuddy Funeral Home in Greenwood congratulates the Greenwood Indians baseball team on their trip to state. The people at Cuddy Funeral Home recognize all the hard work the team has put in with a winning season, earning them a trip to Appleton. Contact the Cuddy Funeral Home staff with any questions you may have on pre-planning a funeral by finding their information on their website, cuddyfh.com. Cuddy Funeral Home, along with all of Greenwood, wish the team the best of luck today in bringing home a state baseball championship.
North Hendron Co-op Dairy has award-winning cheeses for you to serve at your next event. Everyone will love the premium blue vein cheeses and their famous Gorgonzola. North Hendron Co-op Dairy uses fresh, farmer-certified RVGH-free milk to produce its cheeses. Employees and farmers work together as a team to produce these award-winning products. North Hendron Co-op Dairy, Spencer Road, Willard, open for visits Monday through Friday from 9 till 3. Call ahead. Check them out at northhendronbluecheese.com. Good luck to the Greenwood High School baseball team in the WIAA State Championships.
Number 25, Weston Wietrich.
Pitcher Weston Wietrich leads off the Greenwood 5th inning against Lake Country Lutheran right-hander Ben Wilkins. Weston has singled and struck out today. First pitch is a breaking ball, misses high and tight for ball 1. Lake Country Lutheran on top, 4-3, Greenwood batting. Last half of the 5th. Wilkins throws again, inside for ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, a key play there, the top half of this inning, Greenwood successfully defending the suicide squeeze bunt. Here's the 2-0 to Weston Wietrich. Line back up the middle for a solid base hit, right by Wilkins' ear into center field. And Greenwood has the tying run on base here in the 5th inning. 6 hits for Greenwood today. Catcher Cody Learman now batting. Cody today has slid to left and walked and scored. See how Coach Hinker plays this, if he has Weston on the move or has Learman bunting. Wilkins from the stretch. Pitch on the way, breaking ball in there for a called strike 1. Greenwood needs 1 to tie as the Indians bat here in the 5th inning. Learman, the number 3 man in the Greenwood batting order today, a .400 hitter. Wietrich off first base. Wilkins throws, pitch out, nothing on. Second time Coach Moser has called that play today, called a pitch out. And in neither instance has the Greenwood man been running. Now 1-1 on Learman. He stands back in there. Wilkins delivers in the dirt for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Greenwood needs 1 to tie in this Division IV state championship game here in the 5th inning. 2-1 on Cody Learman. Wilkins delivers. Ground ball down the third base side. Grabbed by Turner. He then drops the ball, picks it up and throws low. Dug out by the first baseman Barr, but Learman beats it out and all hands are safe. Lake Country Lutheran ball players quite perturbed by that call at first base. They thought they had Learman, but the first base umpire, Todd Jan, says no, and Coach Moser is now heading on to the field to make an appeal here. I'm not sure what he can do. Learman beats it out. That'll be ruled an error on the third baseman Turner for dropping the ball in the first place. On that play, Wietrich takes second base. Learman at first. Coach Moser now leaving the field. Has a few words with the home plate umpire, asking him for some assistance here. And Mr. Moser asking the first base umpire, can you ask the home plate umpire his opinion? And the first base umpire just stands there. The call will stand, and it looks like we may have a pitching change here. The third baseman, Jesse Turner, coming in, looks like he will pitch, and Wilkins will move over to third base. So Lake Country Lutheran makes a pitching change here, and third baseman, right-hander Jesse Turner, is the new pitcher. Greenwood trails this ball game 4-3 as they bat, with 2 men on base and nobody out in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And while Jesse Turner gets loose, let's pause for these messages.
How do you pay for $200,000 of coverage on your home, but really get $250,000 of coverage? Have Dahlman Insurance Agency set you up with a homeowner's policy from Partners Mutual. Partners Plus coverage will pay out 125% of the coverage you have on your home. While you're at it, save 15% by packaging your autos and motorcycles too. At Dahlman Insurance, customer service is their top priority. Dahlman Insurance. Come for the rates, stay for the service.
Jesse Turner getting loose on the mound for Lake Country Lutheran. He's the new Lightning pitcher. Wilkins goes the first 4+ innings. Gives up 3 runs, all earned, on 6 hits. Walked 3, struck out 4. He's responsible for the 2 men on base. The batter is second baseman Tyler Johnson, who singled home run back in the first and also bounced to first. He's 1 for 2. Infield is in, looking for a bunt. Turner from the stretch. Johnson squares, bunts third base side, picked up by Turner. He'll play to first base just in time. Johnson retired, but the runners do move up. Sacrifice bunt by Johnson for out number 1. Wietrich takes third base. Learman goes to second. So the Indians now have the tying run at third base, go-ahead run at second for left fielder Booker Bredlow, who has big 2-run single back in the 3rd inning, brought Greenwood back to within 1. He has also fly to center field. 1 for 2. Turner from the stretch. He throws bunt first base side. Here comes Wietrich trying to score a play at the plate. Wietrich is hung up between home and third base. Throw back to third base, and Wietrich is out at third base. The Indians try the squeeze bunt to bring home that tying run, and they are denied. Bredlow put the bunt on the first base side. The pitcher Turner grabbed it and threw to catcher Murphy Shannon, who then passed it back to third baseman Wilkins, and Wietrich is retired for the second out. Learman back at second base. Bredlow at first base for center fielder James Lovick. The pitch by Turner is taken low and inside for ball 1. So our score remains Lake Country Lutheran 4, Greenwood 3. Greenwood batting bottom half of the 5th. Runners at first and second, and 2 out. The pitch to Lovick. Low for a ball, 2-0. Lovick today has flied to right and also fouled to third. He's 0 for 2. Left-handed batter. Tying run now at second base. The pitch by Turner. Low for ball 3. 3-0 on Lovick. Indians need to score that man from second base to tie the ball game. Lovick batting .400 for the year. Stands back in there. Turner throws again and gets the outside corner. A called strike, 3-1. Good chance that we'll see Lovick pitch the 7th inning, as Wietrich is out of innings after the 6th today. 3 balls, 1 strike on Lovick. Turner throws again. On the outside corner, a called strike 2. And the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. With 2 outs, the runners will be moving here. Learman from second base, Bredlow from first. Turner from the stretch. The full count pitch. Breaking ball on the outside corner for a called strike 3. And that ends the Greenwood 5th inning. Greenwood in the 5th, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left after 5. Lake Country Lutheran 4 and the Greenwood Indians 3. We'll return for more baseball in just a moment.
To be good in baseball, it takes integrity. To properly complete your real estate transaction, it takes Integrity Title. Integrity Title professionally serves the needs of home buyers, sellers, lenders, builders, and real estate associates. With offices in Marshfield, Greenwood, and Clark County, Integrity Title in Neillsville. For quality products and friendly services before, during, and after closing, seek out Integrity. Integrity Title.
You probably never thought about it, but summer has a flavor. Don't believe me? Close your eyes and think of corn on the cob, potatoes in tinfoil, and burgers sizzling hot off the grill. S'mores or pudgy pies fresh out of the campfire. Add even more flavor to your summer with the smooth, creamy taste of Grassland butter. Look for the Grassland label wherever you buy butter to be assured of a quality product made by your neighbors. Grassland Dairy Products of Greenwood, the better butter people, proud to call Wisconsin home.
Weston Wietrich back out there on the mound. This should be his final inning of work, since Weston did throw 1 inning yesterday. The WIAA pitching rule would limit him to 6 innings today, so this should be his last inning.
For Lake Country Lutheran, leading off the 6th inning.
Leadoff man for Lake Country Lutheran in the 6th is shortstop C.J. Teskey, who has reached on an error and scored and struck out. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Wietrich ready. Winds and throws, high and tight for ball 1. Our score is Lake Country Lutheran 4, Greenwood 3. Lake Country Lutheran batting, top half of the 6th here at Fox City Stadium. Wietrich throws again, a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strikes. Lake Country Lutheran scoring 4 unearned runs in the 2nd inning, thanks to 2 walks, 2 errors, and a 2-run single. Here's the 1-1 pitch, a curveball swung on and missed. Since that 2nd inning, Wietrich has been mighty tough. He's allowed 2 infield hits and a walk. He's ahead of Teskey 1-2. Weston winds, throws again, fouled back. Ball and 2 strikes on C.J. Teskey. Lake Country Lutheran trying to hold on and win its first ever WIAA state championship. Wietrich back on the rubber. Winds and throws a curveball, got him looking. Nice pitch by Weston, a called strike 3. Wietrich now has fanned 9 today.
Center fielder number 11, Jacob Simons.
Here's the center fielder, Jacob Simons. He's been on with an error and scored and bounced to first, 0 for 2. Wietrich delivers, swung on and missed, strike 1. Coming up later this afternoon, about 3 o'clock today, the Division II state championship game between Green Bay Notre Dame and Lodi. Wietrich throws again. High fastball to the screen, 1-1. The Lodi Ball Club, coached by former Spencer Rockets coach Kip Nordstrom, the man who led Spencer to the state championship back in 1994. Now coaching at Lodi, and he'll vie for a state title again today. Here's the 1-1 pitch, high for a ball, 2-1 on Simons. That ball game at 3 o'clock today. Notre Dame beat Ellsworth last night 4-1. Lodi beat Waupun 6-1 in a ball game that ended after midnight last night. 2-1 on Simons, and Wietrich delivers high for ball 3. They had a 2-hour rain delay last evening, and the Division II semifinals were scheduled to begin at 6 o'clock, instead began at 8. So they played until well after midnight last night. 3-1 on Simons. Wietrich winds and throws, over for a called strike 2. And the count on Simons now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Saw Kip Nordstrom a couple of nights ago over here at a local eating establishment. The 3-2 pitch is on the way. Swung on and missed. Good breaking ball by Wietrich, and that's out number 3, and Weston now has fanned 10 in this ball game. Saw Kip walk in his Lodi coaching shirt, his coaching sweatshirt, and boy, I'd never seen Kip Nordstrom wearing blue. That certainly was an odd sensation. Catcher Murphy Shannon now batting. Tries to bunt, but takes the ball inside for ball 1. After seeing Kip and Spencer red for so many years, seeing him in a blue outfit was quite unusual. 1-0 on Murphy Shannon. Weston Wietrich ready. Winds and throws high for ball, 2-0. Lake Country Lutheran leading this ball game 4-3 as they bat in the top half of the 6th inning. Bases empty and 2 out. 2-0 on Shannon. Wietrich from the windup now delivers, and Shannon taking all the way, looks at a called strike, 2 balls, 1 strike. Shannon back in there. Wietrich into his motion, throws once again. A curveball is chopped foul down the third base side. And the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lake Country Lutheran, what was 4 runs in the second, that's stood up for the Lightning so far today. They still lead by 1. Shannon back in there, the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wietrich into his motion, now throws a fastball, a swing and a miss to end the inning. And Weston Wietrich strikes out the side here in the 6th inning. He will end this ball game allowing no earned runs on just 4 hits and striking out 11. But he also leaves as the pitcher of record on the losing side, his ball club down by a run. Lake Country Lutheran in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. After 5.5, Lake Country Lutheran 4, Greenwood 3. Back to Appleton in just a moment.
When you see that red octagon sign on the corner, what should you do? You stop. Well, when you see the red square sign in the yard, what should you do? You should stop in, because that red sign in the yard usually says Team Realty, and that's the sign of service. From Black River Falls to Curtis, Granton, and Greenwood, through Loyal, Lublin, Neilsville, and Owen, to Stanley, Thornton, Willard, and Withy, Team Realty offers complete appraisal and realty services for farm, residential, commercial, and recreational properties. From either of their offices in Greenwood and Neilsville, or online at teamandrealty.com.
Experience the nostalgia of years gone by when you visit one of Greenwood's original landmarks. Now the home of Centuries on Main of Greenwood. Tanya and Michelle invite you in to enjoy a unique variety of gifts, fresh flowers, and home decor, including candles, rugs, balloons, local dairy products, and more. Congratulations, Greenwood baseball team, and good luck in today's game. Bring home another state championship. Centuries on Main. Visit them on Main Street in Greenwood at centuriesonmain.com and also on Facebook.
Greenwood comes to bat in the bottom half of the 6th inning, down by a run. Blake Sterlin stepping in against Lake Country Lutheran reliever Jesse Turner. Blake has struck out and bounced to short today. He's 0 for 2. Turner winds and throws and got the inside corner for a called strike 1. Lake Country Lutheran on top, 4-3 as Greenwood bats in the last half of the 6th inning. 0-1 on Sterlin. Turner throws again. Line drive down the left field line. It falls in fair territory. And Sterling has a leadoff base hit. Blake Sterling fisting that one past the third baseman. And right down the left field line for a single to open the 6th inning. So the Indians have the tying run on base for DH Connor Kitzhaber, who has singled and lined to right. He is 1 for 2 on the evening. We'll see if Sterling is bunted over here. Turner from the stretch. Connor shows bunt, pitches outside for a ball. Throw to first base late as Sterling gets back in time. Coach Moser has attempted that, has put on, or Coach Barr rather. Coach Moser was the WOSQ coach from yesterday. Coach Barr of Lake Country Lutheran has put on that pitch out 3 times to no avail today. Kitzhaber shows bunt, takes inside for a ball, and the count now 2-0. 2-0 on Connor Kitzhaber. And he did square to bunt on those first 2 pitches to attempt to move Sterling over to second base. Kitzhaber gets back in there. He shows bunt again and lays it down the first base side. Picked up by the pitcher Turner, and he will tag Kitzhaber going by for the out. But the sacrifice is successful. Sterling goes to second base.
Right fielder number 14, Alexander.
Batting now for Greenwood, right fielder Alex Volosik, who has singled and walked 1 for 1. Of course, Alex had that big 2-run single to key that 8-run second inning in the semifinal win against WOSQ yesterday. Turner throws in the dirt for ball 1. This is the WIAA Division IV state championship game between Greenwood and Lake Country Lutheran from Heartland. Greenwood batting last half of the 6th inning, trailing 4-3. Blake Sterling at second base with 1 out. Pitch to Volosik outside for a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. You're listening to Greenwood Indians baseball on Sports Radio 92.3 FM, WOSQ, Spencer Marshfield, and WDLB, WOSQ.com. Mike Warren producing our broadcast today. I'm Gene DeLisio at Fox City Stadium in Appleton. 2-0 on Alex Volosik. Turner throws again. Outside, pops away from the catcher. Sterling going towards third base, and he'll get there safely. That is a passed ball. The catcher, Murphy Shannon, had the ball in his grasp. It just popped through the webbing as he stood up, rolled towards the backstop, and Sterling able to go to third base. So now the Indians have the tying run at third base. The count on Volosik 3-0, and Coach Barr pulls in his infield. Turner throws here, over for a called strike. The count now 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike on Volosik. Trying to get that ball past the infielders. They are in at all 4 stations. Sterling leads at third base. Here comes the squeeze bunt. The ball bunted in the air, grabbed by the pitcher, but the Sterling comes through and he gets there safely as the ball is dropped by the catcher Murphy. Greenwood puts on the squeeze play. Ball almost caught in the air by the pitcher Turner, but he short hopped it, underhanded back to the catcher, and the ball was there just in time, but the ball popped loose. And Sterling crosses home plate with the tying run. The ball game deadlocked at 4. So now the third baseman Cole Hinker stands in. Volosik at first base is now the go-ahead run here in the 6th inning. And he's bunting third base side, picked up by Turner. He'll turn, fire to first base in time, but that moves Volosik to second base. So Hinker sacrifices for out number 2. I believe an error has been charged.
Pitcher, number 25, Weston Dietrich.
Well, maybe not. I'm not sure how they scored that. Probably just a sacrifice and the fielder's choice, allowing Sterling to score. Lake Country Lutheran will give an intentional walk to Wietrich. Sacrifice and the fielder's choice on the bunt play, allowing Sterling to score. Volosik gets the RBI. Wietrich now with an intentional walk. By the way, James Lovick is warming up in the Greenwood bullpen, so he will come on and pitch the 7th inning as Wietrich is out of innings. Volosik is the go-ahead run at second base. Wietrich at first base for Cody Learman, who has flied to left, walked and scored and reached on an error. Greenwood has the go-ahead run at second base with 2 outs. Turner from the stretch. He delivers. Curveball in there for a called strike 1. Our score now, Greenwood 4, Lake Country Lutheran 4. Greenwood batting. Last half of the 6th, 2 out and 2 on. 0-1 on Learman, the sophomore catcher, a 400 hitter. Turner gets set and throws a curveball across for a called strike 2. And Learman falls behind, 0-2. Volosik runs well at second base. Wietrich runs very well at first base. They take good leads. Turner from the stretch. The pitch to Hinker hits him. He gets hit in the shoulder. That's the last thing Lake Country Lutheran wanted. An 0-2 curveball hits Learman in the shoulder to load the bases. So Volosik takes third base. Wietrich to second. Learman at first. And the batter is Tyler Johnson, the Greenwood second baseman, who brought home Greenwood's first run with an RBI base hit back in the first. He is also sacrificed and bounced to first base. He is 1 for 2 on the day. Greenwood coach Ken Hinker is checking Learman at first base to make sure he's okay. Greenwood has fought back to tie this ball game. Blake Sterling opened this inning with a base hit, sacrificed to second by Connor Kitzhaber, went to third on a pass ball, and then scored on a squeeze bunt by Alex Volosik, who reached base as the play went to home plate. Learman now leaving the ball game, and there'll be a pinch runner, a courtesy runner. It's Logan Johnson. Logan Johnson will serve as a courtesy runner for Learman at first base. Volosik reaching first base on that suicide squeeze bunt as the play at the plate was unsuccessful. Volosik then sacrificed to second base by Hinker. Now at third base, the pitch to Tyler Johnson, hit in the air to left field. Budnick coming on, can't get there, it's a base hit. Volosik is in, here comes Wietrich, he'll score as well. The ball gets by the left fielder, Johnson to third base, and he'll be held right there. And he is out as he overran the bag, and the throw went back to third base, and Logan Johnson tagged out there. But Tyler Johnson with a 2-run single down the left field line, and Greenwood back on top by 2 here in this Division IV state championship game. Tyler Johnson comes through with a big 2-run single with 2 outs, scoring Volosik and Wietrich to give Greenwood the lead here in the 6th. Greenwood in the 6th inning, 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, a walk, a hit batter, 1 man left on base. We head to the 7th inning with Greenwood leading Lake Country Lutheran 6-4. And we'll return for more baseball in just a moment.
A strong banking relationship is a very important asset. Like any other relationship, a banking relationship is built on trust. We're here to help you reach your financial goals. Stratford State Bank, member FDIC, hometown people, hometown spirit. Hometown people, hometown spirit.
Kitzhaber Crop Care congratulates the Greenwood Indians baseball team on their way to the state championship in Appleton. Kitzhaber Crop Care, your local seed dealer and crop application service, understands all the teamwork it takes to get the Greenwood Indians to the WIAA state championships. Kitzhaber Crop Care works as a team to do the very best for all your crop application needs. Randy, Mike, and Joe, and all the people in the Greenwood area wish the Indians baseball team the very best. Way to go, Greenwood High Baseball.
Well, now this state championship game in the hands of Greenwood left-hander James Lovick, who comes in to pitch the 7th inning. Weston Wheatrick started yesterday's semifinal, went 1 inning for Greenwood, then was pulled when Greenwood scored 8 runs in the 2nd inning. And Lavick finished up yesterday's ball game through the final 4 innings and got the win in relief. Because of the WIAA pitching rule, Wheatrick limited to only 6 innings of work today, so Lavick comes in to pitch the 7th inning and try to nail down this state championship for Greenwood. The Indians scoring 3 runs in the bottom half of the 6th inning to go back on top by 2. A suicide squeeze bunt by Alex Volosik and a 2-run single by Tyler Johnson give Greenwood the lead. Leadoff man Jacob Budnick leads off the Lake Country Lutheran 7th inning. He is 0 for 2. Lavick throws a swing and a miss for strike 1. Our score now, Greenwood 6, Lake Country Lutheran 4. Lake Country Lutheran batting, top of the 7th. 0-1 on Jacob Budnick. Lavick's a left-hander, gets set, winds and throws a curveball, grounded back towards the box. Grabbed by Lavick, he'll turn, fire to first base in time for out number 1. One man down in the Lake Country Lutheran 7th inning. Many Greenwood fans on their feet on the first base side. The batter, second baseman Chris Kornowski, he has walked twice and bounced to second, 0 for 1 today. Greenwood 2 outs away from their first state championship since 1990. The pitch by Lavick, rides outside for ball 1. Greenwood High School baseball today here on WOSQ, a service of Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. Lavick winds, here's the 1-0 pitch. That's high for a ball, 2-0. Lavick allowed just 1 run on 4 hits and 4 innings of work in that semifinal against Wasaki yesterday. The 2-0 to Kornowski, ground ball towards short, comes up to Siraki, he bobbles it, picks it back up and has no play. Greenwood error, the Indians' 3rd of the day. And Lake Country Lutheran has a base runner with 1 out here in the 7th inning. The batter is right fielder B.J. Sable. He has 3 of the 4 hits for Lake Country Lutheran today. 2 of those did not leave the infield. But he is 3 for 3, a left-handed batter, and he is the tying run at the plate. Lavick working from the stretch. Kornowski leads at first base, held there by Sterland. Here's the pitch, outside, ball 1. Greenwood now leads Lake Country Lutheran 6-4. Lightning batting, top of the 7th, 1 out and 1 on in this Division IV state championship game. 1-0 on B.J. Sable. Lavick throws again. Outside for ball, throw to first base, and Kornowski dives back in safely. Cody Learman back in the ball game, trying to pick off that base runner. The count on Sable, I believe, is 1-1. The umpire just signals the count actually is 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lavick checks the base runner. Throws once again, ground ball knocked down by Lavick. He'll go to Siraki for 1, on to first, offline and down the right field line, and Sable takes off. He'll get to second base. A hot smash back through the box, and Lavick did grab it, and first was going to go to first base for the out, then realized he had time to make the play at second, and tossed to Siraki at second base for the force play on Kornowski, but Siraki threw the ball errantly down the first base line, trying to complete the double play, and that puts Sable at second base. That's now 4 Greenwood errors today. But that runner at second base means little here. The key man is the batter, the pitcher Turner, who is 0 for 2. We have a conference on the mound. Coach Hinker making sure the infielders and the battery are all on the same page here. Greenwood High School baseball today here on WOSQ, a service of Forward Financial Bank, Kitzhaber Crop Care, and Integrity Title of Greenwood. Jesse Turner has struck out twice and walked. He is 0 for 2. He remains the tying run at the plate. The runner at second base means nothing. Greenwood fans on their feet, urging on James Lovick to nail this one down and give Greenwood that state championship. Lovick from the stretch, and the pitch to Turner, high and outside, ball one. Greenwood leading this Division IV state championship game 6-4 as Lake Country Lutheran bats in the top half of the seventh. A runner at second base and 2 outs. 1-0 on Jesse Turner. Lovick ready and throws. Fastball just high for a ball, 2-0. We've seen a great ball game here at Fox City Stadium today. Greenwood and Lake Country Lutheran from Heartland in this championship game. Now the 2-0 pitch to Turner. Breaking ball misses low and inside. And the count 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 on Turner, who is now the pitcher and would be the losing pitcher in this ball game if this score stands. 3-0. Lovick throws over the letters, a called strike, 3-1. All the Greenwood fans are standing, many Lake Country Lutheran fans standing as well, urging on the Lightning to come back here in the 7th inning. Lovick back on the rubber, gets his sign from Cody Learman. Sable takes his lead, and Lovick throws a curveball hit in the air to right center field. Wietrich and Volosik converge, and Volosik makes the catch, ending the ball game, and the Greenwood Indians win the Division IV state championship. The Greenwood Indians, WIAA Division IV state champions for 2013, as they come from behind to defeat Lake Country Lutheran. Lake Country Lutheran in the 7th, no runs, no hits, 2 errors, 1 man left on base. Our final score, Greenwood 6 and Lake Country Lutheran 4. And we'll have a full recap on our postgame report in just a moment.
You probably never thought about it, but summer has a flavor. Don't believe me? Close your eyes and think of corn on the cob, potatoes in tinfoil, and burgers sizzling hot off the grill. S'mores or pudgy pies fresh out of the campfire. Add even more flavor to your summer with the smooth, creamy taste of Grassland butter. Look for the Grassland label wherever you buy butter to be assured of a quality product made by your neighbors. Grassland Dairy Products of Greenwood, the better butter people, proud to call Wisconsin home.
North Hendron Co-op Dairy has award-winning cheeses for you to serve at your next event. Everyone will love the premium blue vein cheeses and their famous Gorgonzola. North Hendron Co-op Dairy uses fresh, farmer-certified RVGH-free milk to produce its cheeses. Employees and farmers work together as a team to produce these award-winning products. North Hendron Co-op Dairy, Spencer Road, Willard, open for visits Monday through Friday from 9 till 3. Call ahead. Check them out at northhendronbluecheese.com. Good luck to the Greenwood High School baseball team and the WIAA state champions.
How do you pay for $200,000 of coverage on your home, but really get $250,000 of coverage? Have Dahlman Insurance Agency set you up with the homeowner's policy from Partners Mutual. Partners Plus coverage will pay out 125% of the coverage you have on your home. While you're at it, save 15% by packaging your autos and motorcycles too. At Dahlman Insurance, customer service is their top priority. Dahlman Insurance. Come for the rates. Stay for the service. Cuddy Funeral Home in Greenwood congratulates the Greenwood Indians baseball team on their trip to state. The people at Cuddy Funeral Home recognize all the hard work the team has put in with a winning season, earning them a trip to Appleton. Contact the Cuddy Funeral Home staff with any questions you may have on pre-planning a funeral by finding their information on their website, cuddyfh.com. Cuddy Funeral Home, along with all of Greenwood, wish the team the best of luck today in bringing home a state baseball championship.
I thought I heard 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes, yeah.
Be good baseball. Integrity Title. Integrity Title professionally serves the needs of home buyers, sellers, lenders, builders, and real estate associates. With offices in Marshfield, Greenwood, and Clark County, Integrity Title in Neelsville. For quality products and friendly services before, during, and after closing, seek out Integrity. Integrity Title.
Today's Greenwood baseball game brought to you by your friends and neighbors at Forward Financial Bank in Greenwood. And they know a little something about being a team because it's their team approach to providing financial services that gives Forward Financial the ability to help you with commercial loans and agricultural loans. Visit with one of their team at Forward Financial Bank in Greenwood for all of your loan, checking, savings, or electronic banking.
Experience the nostalgia of years gone by when you visit one of Greenwood's original landmarks, now the home of Centuries on Main of Greenwood. Tanya and Michelle invite you in to enjoy a unique variety of gifts, fresh flowers, and home decor, including candles, rugs, balloons, local dairy products, and more. Congratulations, Greenwood baseball team, and good luck in today's game. Bring home another state championship. Centuries on Main. Visit them on Main Street in Greenwood at centuriesonmain.com.
Well, the Greenwood High School baseball team, WIAA Division IV state champions. The Indians win their third state baseball championship, but their first since 1990 with this win today. And let's recap the ball game today. Our postgame report this afternoon, sponsored by Nuts Deep 2 in Marshfield and Spencer, the sports fans' postgame discussion destination. The Greenwood Indians off quickly today. They scored one run in the first inning. With one out, Weston Wietrich beat out an infield single, stole second, went to third on a wild pitch, and scored on Tyler Johnson's run-scoring base hit to give Greenwood a 1-0 lead. But Lake Country Lutheran scored 4 runs in the second inning. The leadoff man Tim Barr drew a base on balls and stole second base. C.J. Teskey then hit a ground ball to third. Cole Hinker made an errant throw down the first base line, allowing Barr to score, and Teskey took second base on the play. The next batter, Jacob Simons, hit the ball to Hinker as well. Hinker mishandled the ball, allowing all runners to be safe on the play. Teskey stayed at second base, but Simons reached first. Catcher Murphy Shannon then struck out for the first out of the inning. Then Jacob Budnick struck out as well for out number 2. Chris Kornowski then walked, and B.J. Sable followed with a 2-run single, which scored both Teskey and Simons to give Lake Country Lutheran a 3-1 lead. Kornowski then took third base on that base hit by Sable and scored on a wild pitch. So Lake Country Lutheran scored 4 unearned runs in that second inning and went up 4-1 after 2. Greenwood then had some chances. They did score 2 runs in the third inning when Cole Hinker walked, went to second base on a wild pitch. After Wietrich struck out, Cody Learman then walked. Tyler Johnson bounced out to move the runners up to second and third, and Booker Braidlow had a 2-run single to score both Hinker and Learman and put Greenwood back to within 1 at 4-3. Meanwhile, Weston Wietrich, who had really struggled at the outset of this ball game, really settled down after the second. He retired the side in order in the third and in the fourth. In the fifth, did have some trouble, allowing a walk and 2 infield hits, but did not allow a run. He then struck out the side in the sixth to close out his pitching performance for the day. Greenwood also had its chances, especially in the fifth inning, when the Indians got Wietrich to third base, but he was tossed out on a suicide squeeze attempt, which did not enable the Indians to score the tying run in the fifth inning. So the ball game was still a 1-run lead for Lake Country Lutheran as Greenwood came to bat in the sixth. In that sixth inning, Blake Sterlin led off with a base hit down the left field line, and he was the tying run on base. Connor Kitzhopper then sacrificed Sterlin to second base. Sterlin then took third base on a passed ball. Alex Volosik then came up for Greenwood, and he laid down a sacrifice bunt, a squeeze bunt, which was fielded by Lake Country Lutheran pitcher Jesse Turner. Turner underhanded the ball to the catcher Murphy Shannon, and Sterling and the ball got there about the same time. The ball popped loose, and Sterling scored the tying run to make it a 4-4 game. On that play, Volosik did reach base. Cole Hinker then sacrificed Volosik to second base. Weston Wietrich was intentionally walked to put runners at first and second, and then Cody Learman was hit by a pitch on an 0-2 pitch, and that loaded the bases. Tyler Johnson then singled down the left field line, scoring both Volosik and Wietrich to give Greenwood a 6-4 lead. The runner for Learman on that play, Logan Johnson, was tossed out at third base to end the inning for Greenwood, but the Indians had scored 3 times, and they now had a 2-run lead going to the 7th inning. Now Weston Wietrich, who actually began the ball game yesterday as the Greenwood starter, came in the ball, had to leave after 6 innings. His pitching line was done, and so Wietrich was done after 6 innings. James Slavic came on to pitch for Greenwood in the 7th. He retired the first man on a comebacker back to the box. Then Chris Kornowski reached on an error. B.J. Sable then came up, and he had a ground ball which forced Kornowski at second base, but on the relay to first base on the double play attempt, Kornowski threw the ball down the right field line, putting Sable at second base. So he was at second base with 2 outs, and Jesse Turner hit a fly ball to right center field, caught by right fielder Alex Volosik to retire the side and give the win to the Greenwood Indians today. The line score for this afternoon for Greenwood: 6 runs, 8 hits, 4 errors, and 7 runners left on base. For Lake Country Lutheran, 4 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors, and they leave 6. The winning pitcher, Weston Wietrich, went 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, but none were earned on 4 hits. He walked 5, struck out 11, and threw 2 wild pitches. And Wietrich threw 121 pitches on the day. James Slavic gets a save by throwing 1 inning for Greenwood today. He allowed no runs on no hits, did not walk or strike out a man. The starting pitcher for Lake Country Lutheran, Ben Wilkins, went 4+ innings, gave up 3 runs on 6 hits, walked 3, struck out 4, threw 1 wild pitch. The losing pitcher, Jesse Turner, threw 2 innings of relief, gave up 3 runs on 2 hits. He walked 1, struck out 1, and also hit 1. The top batters for Lake Country Lutheran today: B.J. Sable, 3 hits and 2 runs batted in. For Greenwood, Tyler Johnson, 2 hits and 3 RBIs. He had the RBI base hit in the first to drive in the first Greenwood run, and then the big 2-run single in the 6th to drive in the winning runs in this ball game. Booker Braidlow also singled and knocked in 2 runs for Greenwood. And Greenwood gets the win today over Lake Country Lutheran by a final score of 6-4. Once again, our postgame report sponsored by Nuts Deep 2 in Marshfield and Spencer, the sports fans' postgame discussion destination. You're listening to Greenwood Indians baseball on Sports Radio 92.3 FM, WOSQ, Spencer, Marshfield, and WDLB, WOSQ.com. Mike Warren producing our broadcast this morning. I'm Gene DeLisio reporting from Fox City Stadium in Appleton. And we'll come back with more of our postgame report in just a moment.
North Hendron Co-op Dairy has award-winning cheeses for you to serve at your next event. Everyone will love the premium blue vein cheeses and their famous Gorgonzola. North Hendron Co-op Dairy uses fresh, farmer-certified RBGH-free milk to produce its cheeses. Employees and farmers work together as a team to produce these award-winning products. North Hendron Co-op Dairy, Spencer Road, Willard, open for visits Monday through Friday from 9 till 3. Call ahead. Check them out at northhendronbluecheese.com. Good luck to the Greenwood High School baseball team and the WIAA State Championships.
You can count on us. Yes, you can.
Hi, Steve Brickner here from Brickner Motors on Little Chicago's northeast side. You know, I hear the same question again and again. What are you guys doing with a car dealership out in the middle of nowhere? I always answer the same way. Brickner's has been out here since 1945. So if we're in the middle of nowhere and still in business, there's no better proof. We go there.
Baseball team, WIAA Division IV state champions for 2013, winning this ball game over Lake Country Lutheran by a final score of 6-4. Again, our postgame report today here on WOSQ, a service of Nuts Deep 2 in Marshfield and Spencer, the sports fans' post-game discussion destination. Well, the Greenwood Indians get that first state title since 1990, their third overall state championship in baseball, and the fourth time they've been to the state championship game, and quite a thrill for these Greenwood ball players and their fans. Are now congregating down the first base foul line. And we'll run over there in a few minutes and talk with Coach Ken Hinker and his ball players about this thrilling win by the Greenwood Indians as they win this Division IV state championship. A great season capped by the Indians. They finished 16-3 this year in winning this state title here at Fox City Stadium in Appleton today. Once again, Greenwood the state champions as they beat Lake Country Lutheran in the state championship contest by a final score of 6-4. We'll come back with some final thoughts on this ball game from Appleton in just a moment.
Whether you're thinking of purchasing or upgrading to a new home or refinancing your existing mortgage, Pioneer Bank mortgage programs range from low-rate fixed mortgages with a fast approval process to variable-rate mortgage options. And a Pioneer Bank loan expert is with you every step of the way from application to closing. Stop in any of our 10 convenient locations or visit us online at pioneerbank.net. Pioneer Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Good luck, Greenwood baseball team at WIAA Baseball Championship games in Appleton.
At Rail Transport, the power of red is people. Despite economic ups and downs, Rail has always prevailed. Rail has been providing transportation services for almost 50 years and is known as a safety leader. If you'd like a career that is safe and sound, experience the power of red for yourself. Call Rail Transport today at 1-800-826-8367 and keep America going in the right direction. An equal opportunity, affirmative action employer.
You may have heard by now that June is Dairy Month, and you may know that as you've grown your dairy farm, V&H Trucks has been there for you the entire time. We understand the hard...
Say that again.
If you want, as we get off the air, I can record you something real fast to run at 11:30 on OSQ. And then I'll go and talk to Kent, come back and do the other recording that we need to do for the rest of the day, if you want me to do that.
Okay, stand by.
Central Avenue, Marshfield, or vhtrucks.com.
Well, the Greenwood Indians win this WIAA Division IV state championship today as they knock off Lake Country Lutheran in the title contest 6-4. There are 3 more state championship games to be played today here at Fox City Stadium in Appleton. Coming up at about 12 noon, the Division III contest between Oconto and Westby. At 3 o'clock, the Division II final between Green Bay, Notre Dame, and Lodi, coached by former Spencer coach Kip Nordstrom. And at 6 o'clock this evening, the Division I championship game between Stevens Point and Sun Prairie. Those games all coming up later today here at Fox City Stadium in Appleton. Tonight here on WOSQ, it's NBA basketball, Game 4 of the NBA Championship Series between San Antonio and Miami, with the Spurs leading 2-1. Our broadcast begins at 7 o'clock this evening, right here on 92.3 FM WOSQ. And baseball action Friday evening on AM 1450 WDLB as the Marshfield American Legion baseball team faces Plover in a twilight doubleheader at Jack Hackman Field in Marshfield. Game 1 begins at 5 p.m. Our broadcast begins at 4:45 Friday evening on AM 1450 WDLB and on WDLB WOSQ.com. Thanks once again to our producers of Greenwood High School Baseball today, Mike Warren and Jeff Cannon, for their work. Also thanks to our sponsors of Greenwood High School Baseball, including Kitzhaber Crop Care, Dolman Insurance, and Centuries on Main in Greenwood. That's it from Appleton. Once again, our final score in this WIAA Division IV state championship game. The Greenwood Indians 6, Lake Country Lutheran 4.
Nuts Deep 2 is a proud supporter of local high school sports and has recently been designated as the after-game meeting place. Stop at Nuts Deep 2 in Marshfield or Nuts Deep North in Spencer after a...
Okay, you can run during the 11:30 sports or anytime else. I'll give you more stuff with tape when I get back from talking to Kent, but if you want something real fast for 11:30, I can do that for you.
Yeah, let me get back into automation here in about 2 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.